All right, people, let's talk about this Tab S11.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
So I went to the Samsung store when it was announced. I'm always excited to go there. I like playing with the new tech, the new tablets, the new phones, whatever is out. I like knowing that. Being that there's a Samsung store right by me, I kind of get first dibs at it because it's always out the day it is announced. But yeah, so I go there, and as you've seen, I checked out the S25 FE, the Galaxy Buds Pro 3 FE, if that's the name of them. I don't actually remember right now. But this is about the Galaxy Tab 11 or Galaxy Tab S11, whatever they call it. I actually recorded a whole bit, to edit and make a vid on YouTube. And as I went over it, as I looked at everything that I did, and as I was trying to figure out how to, place the different clips in an order that makes sense, I started to realize I wasn't particularly happy with what I was seeing. Not the video, but the footage that I got, and what was seen in the footage of this of the Galaxy Tab S11. It wasn't that it was bad footage, it was just the software, the tab itself. And I actually had to go back and just use it, just compare it to my S10 to the S8 before it, and I've come away with the revelation, at least to me, that the Tab S11 isn't actually an update to the Tab S10 before it. It's more of a downgrade, if I'm being honest. I don't think you guys understand. Samsung is actually giving you less tablet than they gave you in previous years, and trying to pass it off as a newer tablet, which I guess technically it is newer, but what you get isn't newer at all. Now, the two main issues that I have with the Tab S11. A, the S Pen. It has been nerfed. No more Bluetooth functionality. Yes, they have made a different physical S Pen, but that S Pen has less features than every previous S Pen. So, though the S Pen you get looks different, it's actually less functional, less productive than the previous generation of S Pen. I'll go into that in a bit. Second of all, the software. Now, on the Tab S11, one of the things that I loved about this tablet in comparison to other tablets, which is why I've stayed with the S line of tablets for so long, is DeX. You were able, with the tablet, to go into a quasi-PC mode / Chromebook mode, where you have all of your apps on the side. There is no app drawer per se. You go and you click the side there, and you see the apps available to you. They'll open up in a window, very Windows-esque experience. Now, DeX is available on Samsung's more high-end phones. You hook up your phone to a monitor and boom, PC, Chromebook-like experience. But the thing about the tablets was you were able to do that right on the tablet. You didn't have to hook up an external monitor. The tablet screens were large enough, at least in the case of the Ultra and the Plus, that it was kind of redundant to hook it up to another monitor that may be larger than it, maybe not, probably not as clear or as crisp as it, because these tablets look amazing. So before Samsung was like, well, you just activate DeX on the tablet if you want that experience, and boom, you went from a large Android tablet to a, like I said before, PC-like experience. And that's how I have used my S10 and my S8 before it the entire time. As soon as I hook up the keyboard, it automatically activates DeX. Now, when I don't have the keyboard and I choose to go into the tablet mode, I just turn off DeX and I get all of my apps open in the large screen for viewing, for interaction, whatever the case might be. But when I want to sit down, put it on a work desk, put it in a work, or put it at a work station, attach the keyboard, attach the mouse if I choose, and get into that work mindset, I use DeX on the tablet. Now, they had an option called New DeX, where it was kind of a mixture of both. It was the tablet experience, but when you opened up an app, it opened up in a window and you could adjust the windows as you see fit. Very much like the new Pixel desktop experience, and you know, it works for what it is. It's not as intuitive as DeX is, but it works. And that's what they've done with the Tab S11. You have your tablet mode, apps open full screen, you can split screen apps, whatever, even triple screen apps, it is what it is. Or you can go into the new DeX mode, quote unquote, which is, like I said, a hybrid of both. It's still the tablet thing, but the apps open up in a windowed environment. It works. I don't particularly care for it. I like having two separate experiences. But now, when you go to DeX on this 14-inch screen tablet, it tells you to hook up a monitor. What in the seven hells? I should not need to hook up my large screen monitor to another monitor to get the PC-esque experience. That's not what I want this giant tablet for. I'll hook up my S24 Ultra or something like that to a larger monitor, because it makes sense. Go from your small phone screen to your much bigger monitor, get the PC experience and get that work done. But the thing about the tablets, it can do that without the additional hardware. You don't need, or you shouldn't need, a large monitor. Oh, and with One UI 8, that's what they have done. And it just so happens the Tab S11 comes with One UI 8 Android 16 out the box. So you don't even get the option to say, you know what, I'm not going to upgrade to this new version of Android because I like where my tablet is right now and I don't need all the extra AI this and whatever that. I am happy where my tablet is. You don't get that. Now, I have read there are some workarounds, some third party this and that can get the tablet to work. You know, it's not the most seamless method from what I've read, but they say it can work if you really want that experience back. I should not have to go through all of that to work on my tablet how I want to work on my tablet. So they're giving you a tablet that cannot or isn't as versatile as the previous tablets. They're giving you a tablet with an S Pen that, again, looks great, but they have taken away all Bluetooth functionality. There's just no Bluetooth. Now, I don't use the Bluetooth functions on my S Pen that often, not on the tablet. But when I do, I am happy they are there. Mostly I use it to control media. I often use it when I do use my tablet to record as the controller for the tablets. I don't need to get up and walk across the room to stop, pause, whatever. I press the S Pen, it records. I press it again, it stops. I swipe up, I swipe down, and I can swirl it, and it'll zoom in, zoom out. All the controls at range, and I like doing that. When I'm washing the dishes at home, I have the S10 behind me, or the Tab S10 behind me, and I get out my S Pen and I can press play on my YouTube or my Netflix. I can pause it, I can switch to the next video, I can raise the volume, drop the volume. all arranged. My hands are wet. I don't want to walk across the kitchen to mess with my tablet. Oh, it is waterproof. That's besides the point. I can say where I am and do all my controls right there from the fully functional Bluetooth enabled S Pen. This new tablet does not have that. So if you choose to, I don't know, record a podcast and you're going to use that as your camera, whereas I will sit across the room and press record and start to record. The rest of you are going to have to use the watch or a hand symbol or whatever to get that same functionality. So, like I said, what the hell? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. You are selling the people less of a tablet than they can get in the previous iterations of that tablet. Even at the Samsung store, the guy was telling me he doesn't push people to the Tab S11. He pushes them to the S10 because you can get more out of it. If you really want One UI 8, it's coming to the S10, and because the S10 has a very similar check, it is a similar size. Why bother with the one that gives you less for more money at that? Oh, they also changed the front-facing camera. With the S10, there's 2 cameras. With the S11, there's 1. Yes, that one can zoom in, zoom out, whatever. But you did have 2 cameras for depth and all that with the S10 on the front-facing camera. They took that away. Also, you cannot put your S Pen on the back of the tablet, and with most of the cases for the tablet in that little cubby to charge it. Why? The S Pens don't need to charge because they're dumb pens now. They are dumb pens, regardless of how nice it looks, and it does look nice. It does feel nice. You just can't charge it. Shoot, even if you have a Bluetooth S Pen, though, I have the S Pen Pro that came out with the Fold 3, which allowed you to go use it with a fold on the soft screen, or flip this nice little switch and use it on the tablets or the hard screens. It doesn't sync. The pen works fine. I use it all the time with my S10, no problem, no issue. The S11 simply does not have the software or the Bluetooth functionality built in to read the pen. It does not sync to it at all. The pen can still write on the device just fine because it doesn't need any kind of power to do that. It doesn't resync to do that. But beyond that, it can't sync. What the hell? So yeah, the Tab S11 in comparison to the S10 and hell, in comparison to the S8, to me is a downgrade. It's a downgrade of a device. It's a downgrade of the features. It's a downgrade of the functionality. It is not offering anything new with this iteration of the tablet. Nothing at all. And anti-glare screen, it's on the S10. MediaTek Dimensity chipset, it's on the S10. It's a little thinner. The bezels are a little thinner as well, but it's 0.1, 0.2 millimeters. You can't see it with the naked eye, so pointless. Why even mention it? They say it's not as heavy. To me, I can't feel the weight difference. I'm not saying that it's not, but it's not to the point where that the human hand and the way we conceive weight, is going to feel the difference in the S10 or S11 Ultra compared to the other ones. You just don't. I tried it. I don't feel it. Maybe others are more sensitive to that type of thing, but the everyday guy like myself is not going to see the difference. They're going to look at the S10, look at the S11. I think that the S11 is the earlier version because it's missing one of the front-facing cameras. The S Pen can't do as much. Little things like that. The UI providing, of course, whoever has the S10 didn't upgrade to One UI 8. The software on the S11 isn't as functional as the software on the S10. It's just not a good upgrade. It's not an upgrade at all to me. You're better off getting an S10 or hell shoot. I was thinking the other day, though I have an S10, I would have been better off with an S8 or an S9 because the MediaTek chip just doesn't hold up as well as the Snapdragon chips do. Personal preference, I'm seeing little things that I didn't see with my earlier tabs. So that is the conclusion that I have come to. So I just wanted to get that out there because I am annoyed. I am. They have pushed out what I was hoping would be a tablet with at least some interesting upgrades that might make me want to maybe consider it. You know, you don't really need to go from one generation of a device to the very next one, but I was hoping maybe that there would be something there to catch my eye, do these great trade-ins that they have, and go from the S10 to the S11. I was hoping that the chipset would have changed. That would have been enough for me to say, you know what, enough with this MediaTek thing. Let's go back to Snapdragon. It just works better to me. But no, they did none of it. And while they tried to push as an upgrade, if you know what you are or what they are trying to say, if you know what they are talking about, and you know how these things were before, you know that the S11 is not the upgraded tablet that you want to spend your hard-earned money on if you already have one of the previous models. And that's just facts. That's just the truth of it. So with that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and yeah, what in the 7 Health Samsung? I just don't understand what you're trying to push here. Yeah, this is what I'm into.